want me, if you need me, I'm yours.
What's up, people? Back again. Just want to make sure the mic is all good. Oh my god, you got the shit kicked out of me. I didn't even know. Imagine being gangster like. The thing is like fat people can fight, man. It's crazy. Don't get it twisted, man. You see a fat guy on the roads, man. Like, just be aware, innit? Like, he might be fast, and he's got the weight behind him. You just might not be able to go for as long as you, but if he catches you, boy, it's a wrap. Anyway, yeah, how's everyone doing on this fine Monday afternoon, morning, evening, whatever it is for you? Yeah, I'm back. I took the weekend off. You know, like Friday was a pretty good stream. I just sort of like, I'm getting used to it, innit? Like, you know, I've been streaming for like maybe 6 months now. A long time. No viewership, it's fine. You know, this, like I've said before, these streams are simply for me, you know, to process my thoughts, to just get out into the atmosphere, into the world, and just like speak my shit and then be done with it. So a few things I wanted to go over today, maybe. Obviously I'm going to give you, not obviously, but like, yeah, I'm going to give you updates on like, you know, my DX Terminal Pro position, the NFTs that I purchased, and any potential like, you know, products or like applications or tokens that I might be interested in. There's one that just caught my eye maybe an hour ago. Maybe the tokens are going to do too great, but the app and the idea behind it seems pretty cool. So we'll go through that as well. Also an update on my my side project, which I've been building like every day relentlessly. Given Claude has actually doubled credits during the week between certain hours and on weekends, which suits me perfectly. So yeah, I've just been grafting, man. I've just been grafting, trying to get it together, and I just keep coming up with new added ideas, new integrations, like how to differentiate from what is out there. Because what I'm finding now is just like, as I'm building out my idea, I'm finding that, yeah, that idea's already been done. So like, how do you, like, once the idea is there, it's like, how do you make it different from anything else? And I've got like I feel like I've got a good idea of like how I can separate myself from the crowd. Because it seems like right now everyone's building like, you know, these AI bots, which is fine. You know, there's some for trading, some for like, you know, marketing purposes, like very like specific niches. But yeah, I still feel like, you know, there's room to add other things, unless like there's someone out there in the corner of their room, basically in their setup, and they're just doing the exact same thing I am. I still have hope that like, you know, once I go public with what I've been building, it's going to be totally different from what anyone else is doing. But you know, the initial, what I'm going to show you today of what is being built, and you know, all the things that have been fleshed out on it, you've probably seen it before. Let's just put it that way. But the fact that I can do this on my own, as a solo dev, using prompt engineering, I know the guys who've got the degrees in like, you know, data and coding and all of that, they're probably like, oh, receiving. But if you have a creative mind as well as the ability to do these things, then you're winning, like regardless, innit? And you'll probably be able to move a lot faster than I would be able to, or I am able to. So yeah, it's all a learning process for me. But at the same time, yeah, I'm still enjoying it. And yeah, it's just getting my creative juices flowing every time. The only reason why I decided to stream right now is because basically Claude told me, look, man, you need to take a break, bro. You know, even with double the limit, it's still like, yeah, take a break. I'm losing sleep over my ideas, you know. I wake up, I go to bed, my brain is still churning. I wake up and I'm like, right, I could do this and that. Or like, you know, certain times, like for instance, it said that I'd use my weekly usage up. So it's like, okay, well, whatever I've got built now, I can just use it. And then that gives me the opportunity to look at all the things and the problems that I feel that are there, or like, you know, like in terms of UI. What other things I want to add, like, so just using the product as well. As a retail pleb, this is going to be built for retail, but I'm not selling anything, if that makes sense. This is just for me, to make my life easier, to create opportunities for me. Obviously, like, if I find that it does work, and, you know, it can be iterated upon, then yeah, obviously it can be open source, and then someone with better qualifications, maybe a team, money behind them, can take it and run with it. But in the meantime, I'm sort of like building the product I would complain to a dev about wanting them to build, and they just shrugged their shoulders, was like, well, why don't you do it? And I have the ability to do that now, so it's amazing. Anyway, looking at the charts, it looks like the market's turned around. Could we have bottomed? It's possible that, like, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say it. I mean, I don't want to be the first guy to say it. The timeline is very quiet. It's very quiet right now, you know, like, Bitcoin's sitting at 73k. It's not bad, but, like, you know, when you see that, it's like a rounded bottom. But you can see, like, the 3 drives are maybe like 1, 2, and then a 3, and it just goes. But yeah, there's no indications, like, macro wise. They could be selling, like, I know what I'm talking about. Like, macro wise, you know, like, the president hasn't said anything. The wars are still popping off. Like, bombs are still dropping. But the market seems to be turning around now. I mean, how much lower do you want to get? I think it went to like 60k at the bottom. You're not gonna complain. Like, the thing is right. When I first got into crypto, Bitcoin was $600, and for it to hit 60k, it's kind of like, you know, it's like a, what is that? A 10x is 6. 100x. That's like 100x. And it's bottomed at 100x. So I just feel like, yeah, if you were paying attention from the long run, it's kind of like, yeah, this thing is definitely, oh my god, I can't believe I was in back. There's no way. Yeah, 2017. Yeah, it was like $600. Yeah, it's mad to think, like, you know, I'm looking at the chart. It's not even there anymore. There's a dinosaur. That's how long I've been here and stuck around. But anyway, changing the subject, or like not getting too distracted. Yeah, Bitcoin's kind of popping off. But then I noticed that the dominance is sort of like teetering on the brink of dumping, which could indicate altcoin season. Altcoin season in the definition of new narratives. So I don't think the coins that are currently out now, meaning like, you know, meme coins, alt L1s, L2 tokens even, I don't think any of them are going to do particularly well unless they've got a good moat, or they've got like stickiness where they could keep like users in, like, you know, in their actual token and using the app or whatever they've built. Not those tokens. I'm talking like the new AI meta, with these agents coming out. Yeah, potentially if those have tokens, they could do well. But you're gonna have to be first to it, and new, like, you know, to new products that are innovative. Don't know what those are gonna be. Don't know what those are gonna look like. There's a few things that I've seen, and I'm just like, But have they tokenized it? I don't think they have. And then even if they do tokenize it, the people from, like, you know, traditional AI backgrounds, Web 2 platforms, stuff like that, they're very critical of tokenomics, tokens in general. They just see it as a grift. So like, wherever these new participants are going to come from, they're going to have to be like, it's gonna have to be their first initiation into crypto. So like with meme coins, like last cycle, that was like a whole group or a whole cohort of like people, young people coming into crypto for the first time and seeing meme coins and being like, oh, that's what crypto is. Do you see what I'm saying? So like, they all got wrecked, and you know, even then I still see, like, when I go on like Twitch for instance and I go to the crypto section, they're still trading meme coins because that's what they know and that's what they assume crypto is. But crypto could be a whole plethora of things. It could be, you know, it could be DeFi, it could be NFTs, like pictures like that are actually tokens. It could be DeFi, NFTs, I said, yeah, just meme coins. You know, trading in general could be like, oh, crypto is just for trading, you know. So like, people from my age or demographic see crypto as like a money making, should I buy this token and hold it, and how much money am I going to make, you know, but on a slower scale, you know, like, so they'll see it as an investment, so they treat it like a stock. Meme coin investors see it as like penny stocks, you know, like, or options, like, sure, what, 0-day options, like where you buy the token, it goes up fast and you make a shitload of money. That's the dream anyway. That dream is completely dead. That dream is completely dead. I don't care what anyone says. The bundlers and, you know, the fact that Pump Fund are trying to pivot away so hard from meme coins and just be like, no, that had nothing to do with us, and trying to rebrand into this new thing. It just shows you, like, you know, the main proponent of meme coins that wants nothing to do with it. So yeah, I'll say it again, completely dead. Yeah. So yeah, AI coins could be the new thing, but like, I just don't see how you monetize it. I don't know how you monetize like an AI coin. Initially, like there was that little, you know, burst of energy when it came to like virtuals and like Luna and, you know, AI XBT, because it was new and novel. Now anyone can, like, you know, like spin up a slot bot that just posts relentlessly online or on the timeline, and yeah, it's just not a big deal. But with the prompt engineering thing, like people like me who've always wanted to see specific things in Web3 have the ability to actually make those things. I think it's going to come from someone who's a Web3 native, a user of these platforms, and sees where, you know, there's gaps. And there are a lot of gaps when it comes to applications and, you know, just enjoyment, just general enjoyment about being on chain. There was this whole thing with Vitalik Buterin or the Ethereum Foundation where they made this post. I didn't even read it. I don't read anything from the Ethereum Foundation anymore. I know. Don't judge me. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. But they were basically, you know, they're pivoting or something's happening. But my key takeaway from it was, it's just like they want people to look at Ethereum and its blob space. I don't know what they want to call it now. As like just open and free. You know, like the internet. Like, no one funds you for going online and signing up for Google. You know, like no one funds you for doing anything like when you go online. And in terms of Ethereum, I think, yeah, it's open. You can build whatever you want. It's permissionless. That's how they want it to be viewed anyway. So yeah, they just want people to come on here, go onto Web3. I don't know what we're calling it now, Web3, or, you know, onto the Ethereum blockchain. I don't know. And just use it. You know. Just use it like a social network. Use it like for your finance stuff. It's supposed to be the everything chain, isn't it? It's supposed to be the everything internet. So like, whereas with Web 2, which was like, you know, Google, Facebook, all those things were like walled gardens that collected your data and profited off of you. Now you've got like this whole open space where anyone can come in and build those sort of applications. And yeah, everyone gets to profit off of it via the tokenomics, potentially. But, you know, obviously, in theory, it sounds amazing. You know, like I could come out, build an application, and potentially profit from it. But then, you know, you've got the, I don't want to like label anyone, but like you've got people who have more wealth or like, you know, better connections, and have played this game before in the Web 2 space, coming to Web 3 and monetizing in a Web 2 fashion, which is like an all for one sort of thing. So like if I build this product, and I use it, or and you use it, then I profit. That's the model that is coming out of Web 2. And, you know, last season or last bull market, I don't even want to call it a bull market, but last 4 years, the products that have been released onto Ethereum and you know, its subsequent L2s are basically being like that sort of like profiteering. You know, the guys who know how to make the money in Web 2 have come over and they played the same game and it worked. But yeah, there's a cohort of people beneath that believe that profit sharing with your customer should be the moat. You know, like Aerodrome, for instance, like all the fees go to their stakers who vote every Wednesday. Or like I'm trying to think of another example where it's actually fair, and I can't think of any other product out there where, you know, the fee share is genuine. Obviously, like in terms of Aerodrome and the price, you know, of the token, you're not holding it for price appreciation. You're holding it so you can get a share of the fees. It's that simple. Maybe that changes in the future. Pump Fund, for instance, you know, they dropped their pump token. It has zero utility. You can't see it as a profit share because they done it via an ICO. They did promise an airdrop. But then when you see from their actions what they're actually releasing, it's all just to profit more off of like what people are doing, i.e. like, you know, dropping a token and saying, oh yeah, you could do fee share with like people, you could do buyback and birds, blah blah blah. It all generates fees for the guy at the top. So it's an old school model, placed in a new, in potentially new pastures. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. It's just like, I'm not ranting, I'm just kind of like looking at the market and thinking, where do we go from here? Because for one, it's not fun. I'm sitting around and I'm just like looking at the products that are coming out, and like there are a few things that I'm just like, wow, but it's just not as fun as it used to be in it. You're not as curious, like a lot of people aren't as curious as they used to be. The younger heads, they're out because they've been like, you know, one-shotted by meme coins, and it is what it is. So yeah, we're still hunting for that new narrative. I think I've seen it, which is like, you know, the AI narrative, but like the monetization of the AI narrative. If it's not a fair way of doing things, if it's not open, if not everybody can partake, I'm talking like being geo blocked, for instance, or if they decide to do ICOs where they do, you know, minimum like 5% of like the tokens go to people who are in the ICO, and the rest goes to like, you know, insiders and like early investors, who can then stake the token and dump on you. There's like loads of different ways it could go. Yeah, if that all happens, then yeah, we're basically never going to have a bull market again, is it? Because people aren't going to buy Bitcoin, who are, unless they're in like a distressed situation. You know, like people who are like war-torn countries, for instance, like God bless them, or like, you know, it's just in a bad way. They're going to buy Bitcoin because they know that they know that it's going to go up over time. So yeah, that's the only reason why. And obviously, you've got the VCs and the hedge funds like who want to hold it for whatever nefarious reasons they have, but it's definitely not to share profits with the people. So like, you know, if like the Clarity Act goes through and it's like, oh yeah, I'm not sure if they do, but like if banks have permission to hold Bitcoin, and they're earning a yield on it, they're not going to share it with the customer. Do you know what I mean? Like that yield is for them, and then they'll be like, oh, it's to you know, keep this to keep lending and borrowing going. But like maybe lending and borrowing isn't the way to go forward from here on out. You know, maybe the best thing is to just let that model burn, and like we come out with something else, i.e. giving yield to your customers, like good yield. You know, like if I place my money into a bank, I would like to earn a yield that I would earn in DeFi, without the smart contract risk. Obviously, like the yields wouldn't be as much because then the banks would have to take on the smart contract risk, but that's another question for another day. Okay, so yeah, Bitcoin looks good. Pepe, I actually longed Pepe. Believe it or not, I think I'm not gonna say it because next thing you know, I get stopped out. But like, I think I've logged the bottom here. So it's looking good so far. I'm just gonna hold it. Like, obviously, as price goes up, my stops move up. So now I'm in profit on my stops, which is great. So I can just sort of relax and just let it play out the way it's gonna play out. I'm comfortable. If it hit my stop right now, obviously there'll be a bead of sweat coming down my forehead. But at the same time, it's like, oh well, I made a bit of change, you know, to do whatever I want to do with it in Web3. I can even use it in my project, like, you know, to experiment and stuff like that. So like, it's important, like if you're in this game, okay, it's important that whatever your starting capital is from the beginning, you never, like, you know, have to add to it. So like, you start with a certain amount, you build that up, and then eventually it turns into something like, wow, I can't believe that actually happened. That's the dream anyway. But if you're continually, like, if you're a passive investor, I guess it's okay to have, I don't know, 10% of your wage packet going into, you know, buying some of these assets and just holding it on a non-self-custodied app, you know, like Coinbase or Kraken, if you want to do that. Like, you know, if you don't want to figure out all the rest of it, then maybe that's the play for you. Not financial advice, you know, everyone's allowed to do whatever they want to do in it. But yeah, the fact that Ethereum is at 2,281, almost 2,300, gives me like a bit of hope. Yeah, Bitcoin like finally broke above the notorious 71. Once it breaks 75, I think it's go time. Asta, I've been keeping an eye on because it's just literally going sideways. And then there's like an announcement imminent of their mainnet. It's supposed to be this month, but I don't know if that's a sell the news thing or if that's going to be like, you know, let's go. They're going to do, I think they're already doing buybacks and burns and all sorts of other things anyway. But yeah, I think Asta's got some potential to actually go up in price because of the news. I don't think it's a sell the news event. I think it's a buy the news event because of the fact that it's been going sideways since like February. You know, over a month of sideways. That's like a consolidation. People waiting for that announcement. I guess the people who are buying this, or who are maintaining price, buying and selling it, that's why it's going sideways, expect one of two outcomes, which is a massive pump up or a massive pump down. I don't know why we would buy it if it was going down. Or maybe like, it's just the same amount of buyers and sellers. That's why it's going sideways. Or maybe no one's trading it. Who knows? Who knows? I'm just waffling now. But Asta's like, you know, I've got one eye on. Things like Athena, like I think are dead. But although that looks like a breakout, on a 4 hour, you know, like on the daily, it just looks like shit. Yeah. It looks pretty bad. But as I was saying in my previous stream, you know, like anything that any price action that's gone below the 1010 wick is a potential buy. Because that's capitulation, that's forced sellers, that's someone who wanted to hold it, but you know, in the end they just had to say like, you know what, I'm not in a position to hold this anymore. I need to close out all of this risk. And that's what's happened with this candle. This candle is very important for the rest of the year. Every asset that was out prior to this candle is defined by the price action that happened on that day. So it's very important that if you're going to look at these markets, that you look at where in if there's any correlation to price and this candle, i.e. if the price is going down and it's around here, and you see that the candle wick hasn't been filled, then I would just leave it. But something like this where there's a consolidation at the bottom of the candle, potentially could be price appreciation. Sellers are done and there's no buyers because the market's dead, meaning there's no liquidity in the market. So yeah, it's just like sideways until like the buyers step in, or there's some sort of incentive to actually purchase, some sort of catalyst, I should say. So you look out for announcements from product teams and see where it goes from there. But yeah, today looks like a good day for crypto overall. Thank God the dollar is finally, well, the dollar looks like it wants to go higher, but like, what does that mean for risk assets? I do not know. I don't even know if there's a Fed meeting this month. There might be next week actually. Are they going to cut rates? They're going to stay the same. I think this might be the first Fed meeting with the new Fed chairman. So we'll see what happens there. But it's something to keep an eye on in terms of volatility, because it tends to be volatile price action does happen around that date, on that date. Tends to be like the opposite of what's going to be the trend happens. So like, you know, if price is going to pump up on some of these risky assets, like Hyperliquid for instance, if price rips into the FOMC meeting, more than likely when he makes his announcements, regardless of what it is, the price will dump down and it will go back to wherever it started before the meeting, and then the trade is the trade. So yeah, something to think about. Not financial advice once again. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just some guy sitting on his laptop talking shit. Oh, hello, Zora, blah, blah, blah. Support ZBTC. Someone's trying to show me something on Zora. That's great. Thank you very much for that. I love it when the shows come in. They're not even watching my content. They just come and say what they got to say. Like, there's no viewers here, bro. There are no viewers here. Do you know what I mean? Come on now. Come on now. All right. What else? DX Terminal Pro. I don't know what these agents are doing, okay? I don't know. But at the end of the day, the price is down on Poopcoin. The price is down on everything. It's sort of like every agent is sitting on the sidelines with their profits, you know? When you go to the leaderboard, it's like hundreds of thousands of dollars, like, you know, realized, unrealized. So like, you know, there's quite a bit of money going through the ecosystem that's just sitting on the sidelines, or in this sandbox, I should say. It's got 10 days left. Poopcoin's still number one. I'm sort of even on it, to be fair. At one point I was up like majorly. I was in the top 100 in the leaderboard, but now it seems like it is what it is. As you can see, like a lot of these tokens have been reaped, which means whoever was holding like this AI girlfriend token, if they were holding it, they got reaped, and then they got an allocation of the Poopcoin token in return. Yeah, so there's three tokens left. I'm not sure if there's going to be any more released. It's coming towards the end of the experiment. From what I'm judging from the post from the DXRG team, they've learned quite a lot. They've learned, like, they've got so much data now, based on this sandbox, that I feel like they're going to build, the next build that they make is going to be spectacular. It's going to be something really impressive. So I'm excited to see that, and I will not be selling my NFT, my little purple fella here. I sold the rest. I think the price has gone down on them so much I could probably buy back double the amount that I sold. But I sold them to fund this experiment. So like, you know, the money never really left the ecosystem. I just used it in a different way. It's better than sitting on an NFT, like just sitting there, you know, price goes down to where it was or below. It's ridiculous. But yeah, that's what's going on with my portfolio and DXRG. I don't know. It sort of got very quiet. Like, you know, at first it was very exciting as everything else, but like the novelty of everything wears off so quickly in this day and age, isn't it? You know, like, I'll give you an example, like the Burnt Peanut. You know, like the Burnt Peanut's been getting 83,000 views a day, like, you know, 100,000 views a day. I saw him streaming yesterday, or in the end, I think he's taking a break. So he's just put on a 24/7 stream, like, you know, of everything he's done. And that's getting like 3,800 views. So like, you know, will the novelty of the Burnt Peanut, for instance, burn out like very quickly because, you know, 24/7 streams, like, you're gonna get tired of seeing him. Well, maybe he goes live with some new tech. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, the attention economy is a rough one, you know, so especially in crypto, because obviously no one's here. I'm literally talking to myself right now, and that's fine, you know, I'm happy with that. It's kind of weird that, you know, I remember, I think last cycle, it was kind of like, yeah, you should just build something, just build something. I was just like, oh, I don't want to build anything, just like, come on, where's the market? But now, it's like, every day, I'm like, I'm falling behind, you know? Because I have the ability to build something, like, I'm falling behind. I've got to work every day, all the time, and the days are just flying by. Next thing you know, we're in a bull market again, you know? God willing. Yeah. Right. So the next thing I was curious about, I'll go over these CCO moods. Yeah, down again. Just yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's tempting to just pick some up. They're like super cheap right now. Yeah, I've got 5. I paid like $10 individually for each one. So I paid like, I don't know, $50 and I got 5. But now you can get some like really cool ones. I think that's a rare one, isn't it? Yeah, that's a rare one. That's one of 16 and it's selling for how much? $33. You know, it might be time to pick some of these up. If it doesn't amount to anything, then fine. If anything, because you own them, and because they're pixelated, you can actually create sprites using AI, and then you can animate them if you wanted to build a game or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So like the designs are there. Yeah, I think it's definitely something that you can look at. I mean, my initial build on Claude was a game, but it's tough to do, man. And I don't think the reward for doing a game is particularly. It's not that great. It's not that great. So like, I just don't think it's worth it. Like, you know, with AAA games coming out, you know, like it's just impossible to compete with big studios. Yeah. I mean, you could like maybe try. I don't even know if you could build like a basic viral game like Flappy Bird. I think that time was like, you know, a very, once again, short space of time where you could have got away with doing that. It's like, oh, I've got Crappy Bird, I've got like this or that, or Angry Birds, and you know, all of that stuff was happening, and you know, it was working. But now it's just like it's so saturated the market for like a, you know, mobile gaming. It's just like, what's the point? I feel like, and the energy you've got to put in, especially as a solo dev, it's just like the amount of things that, you know, I had to consider when I was trying to build it, especially when I was trying to build it on chain. It was just like, there's no point. There's actually no point to even try and attempt to do that. So it's on the back burner. Who knows? Like, it might be something where, you know, if I'm bored, I might just pick it up and muck around with it, or maybe I'll learn some new skills that make things more efficient for me to build it. But for now, it's better to move on to a new project that is on chain and, you know, might benefit me in the future. Right. Let's see. Likes. This is it. Super Agent. So this from Gigabrain. Gigabrain, which is a project coming out of Virtuals. They released their Brain token. You want to see the price action? Don't laugh. Look at the price action. So it went to like what, 15 mil. Now originally, like, this is what, yeah, this is towards the height of the bull. Where are we now? We're like March, April, isn't it? See, like, this is what I'm saying. March, April. There's gonna be a run up. Yeah, this was like at the height of the bull. I would say like June, you know, July. Trump coin came out and it was gone. Like, you know, the AI meta died. But originally, like, it was basically, Gigabrain was like this. I think I've done a video about a channel. It's like a trading terminal that used AI to analyze, you know, trades, and like, you know, you could automate them and blah 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 blah. Yeah, so they came out and then they were like, yeah, to access our terminal, you need 10 million tokens. Now, a $16 million market cap, that's like, you know, 16k. So you gotta pay like 16k to get access to this terminal. And then, you know, it'll give you trades and whatnot. And it's kind of like, yeah, okay, it's clearly too expensive. It's like the AI XPT. If you don't know what I'm talking about, AI XPT was a slot chatbot. That's still on X today, or it might be banned now. That just posted, like, you know, up to the minute, or requested news on the crypto markets. It was kind of like it was cheeky, you know, like it would be rude to you, it would be condescending. If you tried to be smart with it, it had the replies, and it was all AI. So people loved that, and it pumped, you know, ridiculously to like 50 mil market cap and beyond. But yeah, it was sort of like in that time period. That's when Gigabrain came out, or the Brain token. But yeah, it was just way too expensive to access the terminal. Yeah, that just gave you, I don't know, Trader's Edge. They said it gave you Trader's Edge. I actually had access to it because I think I bought at the bottom back down here a while back, like 1 million tokens. It cost me like $1,000. So I, you know, mucked around with it. I done a video on my other channel once again, previewing it all. Just saying it was about, but it was like the early beginnings, the early days of it, and it was sort of like not fleshed out. So yeah, now they basically made an announcement. Get your words right. Introducing Gigabrain Super Agents, always on AI agents built from scratch for trading. Yeah. Each one is its own cloud compute with wallets, memory, and real-time market intelligence, compatible with 110,000 OpenClaw skills, purpose-built for markets. This is not an OpenClaw. No wrapper, no plugins on top of a general-purpose agent. Super agents run on a custom cloud runtime, purpose-built for trading. Persistent processes, persistent file system, persistent memory. Your agent never sleeps, never loses state, always on, always watching markets. Launch a super agent in one click, $5 a month. No setup, no dev ops, no laptop running overnight. Yeah, so you just like pay your $5 and it just does whatever it's going to do for you. This is not a dumb bot running a strategy on a loop. Super agents think, they remember what worked, they build habits, they schedule their own routines. 1 second, sorry guys. They schedule their own routines. I just want to check. Keep an eye on something here because I'm in. Yeah, beautiful. Schedule their own routines. Schedule their own routines. Wake me up if e-funding flips negative. Watch this wallet. If it opens new position, analyze it. If BTC breaks 100k, check macro conditions and tell me if it's real. A trader that gets sharper every day, so it learns. Every agent has a soul. Soul MD defines your agent's personality, risk tolerance, trading style, and guidelines. Conservative or degen, scalp or a swing. You shape who it is. Now, I'm just going to stop there. Right, remember where we are, okay, guys? What is this? This is basically an agent in a sandbox, which is basically the same thing. So if I go to strategies, for instance, there's a defined strategy. Also settings. If I go to settings, it tells you like trading activity, risk preference, trading size, hold style, diversification. So like, you know, within this sandbox of DXRG, there is actually, you know, the same sort of build but with this build that we have here, it's actually learning on the job, trading against other agents within a sandbox. It made up tokens for real money. Okay, every token's made up, isn't it? Even Bitcoin's made up. Come on. Like, someone made it. But yeah, it's sort of like this. I imagine it being this sort of deal, but except it's going to be trading on real life markets. I don't know where they got the logic from, but from my understanding, before I read on, I believe that you have to load up your own Soul MD. So like, if you were to go to Claude now and say, listen, I want to create I'll give him all the details on this. I want to create a trading bot and write me a script based on this quant firm or something like that I could put in and then just let it go. Like, I feel like that's the potential that it could have. Every super agent ships with Gigabrain GG intelligence, macro, microstructure, fundamentals, technical sentiment, polymarket trenches, 30 plus data categories synthesized in real time. Your agent sees what a trading desk sees, DXY to whale flow to macro cap narratives, all connected. It doesn't guess from price charts. What can a super agent do? Copy whale wallets on Hyperliquid with its own risk management. Farm funding rate divergences across venues, delta neutral. Snipe mispriced poly market contracts using news and data before the crowd with prices. Classify macro regimes from DXY to the VIX, yields and rotate positioning automatically. Rebalance your portfolio across chains on a schedule, or write your own skill. If you can describe it, your agent can execute it. So like, yeah, I need to go through the docs anyway. Let's see. Any model, your choice. Any models. Let's see. Where was I? Yeah, any models, your choice. 400 plus models supported through Open Router, Cloud, GPT, Grok, Gemini, Lima, all flagships. Already paying for Claude Pro? Bring it. Use your own subscription. Zero markup. So you can actually just load in your own Claude. It's a full computer, not a script. Shell access, file system, package manager. Your agent writes code, installs tools, runs running processes. Want a new skill? Paste the GitHub link. Your agent installs it. Want to build one? It's just a directory with a skill MD. Open composable yours. Talk to Telegram, continue on the web, hit the API from Claude Code. Context carries across all three. Same conversation, same memory, no starting over. Full API for programmatic control. Launch, pause, destroy, chat, swap models, update Soul, manage skills, everything in the dashboard. Available via API. Build a trading desk. Run a swarm. Yeah, API. The best traders will have agents. The best agents will have Gigabrain. So like, yeah. And I'm like, this is extremely interesting, but I'm the only guy that's replied to this fella. You know? I don't know what it is that... Is it a sign of the times that we're in regards to the market? He's got a fair few followers. I think it's just, yeah. People are... Oh, well, look. Here we go. Yeah, so I haven't refreshed. So maybe there's some more comments. Oh, maybe that was just me. Yeah, very cool. Thank you. This is cool. Thank you. Very cool. It runs on cloud. Okay, so very cool. Do you have GitHub for it? It runs on cloud and runtime is proprietary, but skills are fully open, compatible with OpenClaw, Claude Code skill standard. Okay. Bankerbot deploy token with Gigabrain on base and send all fees to use this image. It's just like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? I think that's so lame. Do you think that's cool? Like to do that? Oh, let me create a token in the guy's name, and then I'll just collect the fees off it. What's send all fees to? Okay, send the fees to it, but it's still like it's lame, isn't it? No one likes that. Anyway, I'm not gonna bitch about it, but yeah, very interesting, and it's something that me and Claude are going to be talking about probably tonight once my tokens come back. But yeah, so I've read that. Now, what am I building? Whalescope. So Whalescope, what does it do? Whalescope is basically everything he described, except it's not like an AI agent. It's self-hosted, so like I host it myself. Yeah, it's got, let's see, it's got like a cluster analysis. So like if two separate addresses that are not associated make the same trade, then you can it basically highlights and then you can click it and just mirror the trade. It's like a mirror trading platform that I built myself. There's other things that are going on. So I've got like the session P&Ls. I've got my position, auto mirroring. So like if I can select address from here, it will tell me, you know, whether the success rate of that address. And then yeah, if I want to mirror that, it will basically click in settings. You can basically set your preferences. So like, you know, you've got like the amount of accounts that you could trade, the maximum size you could trade, the stop loss that you want to have, and the minimum fill time, the minimum hold time. So you can hold for a minimum of 30 minutes. If the person who you've mirrored actually closes the trade, then you automatically close that out. You could also switch that off. It's got an open interest filter. So basically, I wanted to filter out all the tokens that have more than $1 billion in open interest, because I feel like the tokens that have a lower open interest have the better potential to pump. So yeah, so when you see a spike in OI, it tends to be after the fact of price moving. OI is the confirmation of the move. So you want to mirror tokens where you see, like, because you're going to be looking at trading view and charts and stuff, innit? So when you see the price of a token pumping, you check the OI of that particular token. If you see that the OI follows that, then potentially it could be a good move. It could be a good long or short for you. Alert when coins, yeah, open interest. So like, yeah, this is also like the open interest spike alert. Yeah, and then there's a position cap, which I have at 0, so I can have as many positions as I want. Yeah, what else? Yeah, I mean, I've described that. That took me all week. You've also got wallets. So like wallets, you can like load up all wallets. So it basically tells you the wallets that you have registered on the side. So I've got 10. I do maximum 10 of the top traders, and then I've got like a filter out when I search for the wallets of which ones that I feel like would benefit or which ones I could use. So like you can see like a few of them have like, you know, got the win rates are quite low. So like, you know, 40% down, 42% down. So I need to refresh the wallets. So basically I'll just go to settings, just like click refresh whales, and then it will give me a new list, which I can then apply and remove the old ones. So, you know, it's constantly iterating on. There's also a sleep timer. So if you're in a trade, you know, it's getting late and you're just thinking, I've got to go to bed, like I've got work tomorrow. The sleep timer, basically you can adjust it to however long you want, but I've got mine set to 8 hours. After 8 hours, it'll ask you if you're still at your terminal. If you're not, then it will automatically, you know, shut down any trades that you're in, and you'll just take profits or losses from there. So you don't have to worry about, you know, whether or not you've made a profit or lose sleep over it. So I'm just trying to make it as easy as possible, but like, this is the basic build that I have now. And it's my own personal build where I can mirror trades from particular wallets that over the like past 3 days or through the course of 3 days have had success or not. Yeah, I've also got like this algo running in the background where it's like scoring the wallets. The problem I'm having really is the fact that a lot of these wallets, you know, people have multiple wallets. They change wallets all the time. So it's hard for me to get like, you know, aggregated data on like, you know, a particular wallet, because potentially the person who's using that wallet will just throw that one away and move to another wallet. And then, you know, I have to reset and start analyzing again. It's not something like, you know, it's something that is tough for me to think about. Like, you know, it's a problem that needs to be solved. But in the meantime, you know, it's working out for me. As you can see, I've got to this Pepe log at the bottom. You know, things are happening. Yeah, you got your positions here. also, like, you know, if I was to mirror like this trade, for instance, if I clicked mirror, it would automatically fill me on that trade. It would also give me the OI indicator as well. So like if there was a spike in OI open interest after the fact of me taking that trade, it's sort of like another confirmation that potentially it's a good trade. So really what you want is you would want a spike you would want 4 separate wallets making the same trade, not at the same time, but like, you know, there's confluence there, and then you would want like the price to go up, obviously, and then a spike in OI to say that, okay, this trade has conviction. Yeah, even like when you mirror a trade, like you could still turn off the, you know, the mirror after. So if the person who you're following or mirroring actually closes out, you could still be in the trade. But I mean, is that advisable? I don't know. It depends on it depends on your risk tolerance, your understanding of why you took the trade in the first place. Because like for me, it's kind of like, okay, I want to trade this item. Is anyone else trading it? It's just another layer, if that makes sense. The thing is, it's like I've been trading blind for years, so it's kind of like I've got to put some sort of tool together that's going to tell me, you know, give me some sort of edge somewhere. And yeah, I feel like, yeah, I'm on my way to doing that. Obviously, it's only been a week, and so far I've built all of this. So yeah, it's only going to get better. There's a few other ideas I have for this. So like, you know, this is the user interface, and what it does is what it does. But there's going to be other things that I can use this for, especially the information and data that I'm actually gathering in the background. I can use that to build on top of this. So this is like my own little private hobby, side project, you could say. And I'm pretty proud of it. It looks pretty cool. One of the things I love about it is that also in regards to like, you know, the Hyperliquid user interface, it's like it's tough to trade separate different assets. I mean, that's just me anyway, but like, you know, you're on the Bitcoin screen, you see that ETH's pumped, and you want to go to ETH, so you got to click, drag down, find ETH, click it, you know, set the leverage, blah, 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 blah. This has got my leverage set, my risk set, everything set. All I got to do is just like click long now or go short now, and I know what my stop's going to be. I know how much money is at risk. I know how much leverage I'm using. It's all in one place, and it's just a button click away. So like for me, it's beautiful. And plus, like, you know, with the added, like, you know, the spikes and the alerts as well, those alerts can be used for other things, which I'm probably going to show you guys once I've built that out as well. But it's very interesting, it's very exciting, and I'm glad to be in this space actually building on chain. So yeah, that's another thing that I'm just like, yeah, super proud of that. It's actually happening for me, and that it works, all for the power of AI. You've also got, like, you know, the signals. So like, yeah, as I was saying before, so they've got like an algo score. So like, it's going to take a while for the algo to collate enough data to actually give signals to which wallets are reliable and which aren't. At which point, you know, once you've found a reliable wallet, you can actually save that wallet on the side, and then delete the ones that aren't reliable, and then you could refresh and add more on top. So it just like compounds, you know, the groupthink. Yeah. So that's what it's about. It's just kind of like not just using my brain to train, but like gathering as much information as possible from what everyone else is doing. Yeah. And once again, you know, I've done research into like what other copy trading platforms do, and you don't have this much freedom to do and adjust things the way that I've built my platform to do. And also there's no fees, so I don't have to pay like, you know, 10-20% to the guy who's actually who I'm copying. I'm sure they're gonna come up to me, oh wait, you owe me 20%. But like, you know, it is what it is. This is the game now. So, you know, who said that we have to play fair? But yeah, this is that's my side project. I'm very proud of it. It's called Whalescope. I might change the name, I don't know, but yeah, I'm just gonna continually be obsessed with this thing and continually build it out. And yeah, it's just nice to be able to do something in the bear market and just take away from all the other shit that is going on the timeline, which isn't much, to be fair. But yeah, there it is. You've also got a close all function. If I click this wallet button, it will refresh the wallets. You can see from like the wallets that I am following at the moment. What is it? 50. Oh, it's waiting for data. Okay, so it's uploading now. I was about to do it. I didn't click anything, did I? But it will tell you, like, you know, the long shorts, like the long short ratio. Have I lost connection? There's no way. Not while I'm. No, I'm still connected. So I'm watching 20 wallets. Last event was at 6:42, which was a minute ago. Okay, something's going on here. Of course, while I'm on stream, it does that. Let me go to like history feed. All right, we'll see. Anyway, yeah, you got wallets here that tracks all the wallets, as I said before, and you could also like auto mirror via here. So if you see like, you know, there's a person that's live right now and they're doing things or whatever, you can just auto mirror how they're doing. So like, for instance, this guy, he's got like he's making 3.5k, 3,800. He's got a 65% win rate. He might be able to roll today, so I'll just mirror whatever he's doing. You never know. But you know, another thing that worries me as well from using it is that you know, you could be like mirroring someone whose trade is part of a bigger trade. You know, like if someone's like doing an arbitrage trade or like you know, yeah, and basically collecting a fee in the middle, that could fuck you up because they could be constantly opening and closing. And there's the danger of also you could follow a bot that's just constantly in and out. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even care about price. I followed a bot over the weekend when I was mucking around with it, and it was literally just like losing pennies every second. I was just like, well, what's the point, you know? But it obviously has other reasons why it's doing that. So yeah, there's things that, you know, I'm learning from actually building this thing. It's not just, oh, it's shit, it doesn't work. It's just like, what is it teaching me about what's going on, you know? Because like, I find that the most successful traders are, they're not looking at fucking charts. They're doing something else, and they're not telling me. So yeah, it's got to be something like where it's got to be something with like collating data, analyzing it, and seeing what to do next. You know, yeah. But the open interest play is definitely something that is like, you know, particularly special to me. But then, you know, tying that back to the fact, tying it back to what I was talking about in regards to the Gigabrain, where you could like have a super agent, and it's saying that you can create a sole MD. So now you've got like, you know, I've got like this thing that I've got that's collecting data right now, and it's building some sort of reputational algorithm, like to see which agents are the best, you know, like in terms of following and trading strategies as well. It's got like a little thing in the background for trading strategies. All of that can be collated into a Claude MD and just dumped into a super agent that just operates 24/7. So, you know, as an individual, I have the ability to do that now. And it's not even like, you know, I was thinking that when I first started. I just wanted to do something cool with Claude and, you know, something on chain. There's another play as well that once it's done, you'll know about it. Like, and I'll be happy to share it. But anyone has the ability to do this. Honestly, you just have to take the time and just like, you know, have a conversation with Claude about what you want to build. It's not like ChatGPT as well. ChatGPT just gasses you up too much, you know, and then it doesn't follow through. It's like that beautiful girl, isn't it, that flirts with you, just you know, is what it is. She's just a friend. Yeah, that's how chat is for me. But like Claude, it's just kind of like, okay, let's have a conversation about this idea. Let's like, you know, make a plan about it. What are the pros and cons? What do I need to provide you in order for this to happen? And you just do it, like, you know. So yeah, exciting times, man, exciting times. And I like this guy. I like the super agent idea. I just don't know why no one else is particularly interested in it. It's a bit strange to me. You know what I mean? 43 likes is good though. 43 likes is good, considering where we are. I love this. This was crypto. It's, if you truly believe in freedom and self-sovereignty, you shouldn't be calling anything a shitcoin. Don't like it, don't hold it. No reason to shit on it. So your shitcoin launched at 20 billion FDV and it's down 99%. It's actually down more than that. But yeah, that's the Starknet lead, who I don't know is delusional. Respectfully, brother, you know what I mean? What do you mean? This follows from the flawed logic that people should be able to do only what you like. So if you're allowed to do anything, that means that you should like anything. Makes zero sense. People should be free to do things I consider shit. It means one does not need. You see how I say? It means one doesn't need to be over judgmental. People do a lot of stuff I find dumb, but I don't call them dumb for doing that. Like being on TikTok. Wow. I find the two completely unrelated things. One can be freedom and self-sovereignty and judgmental at the same time with no contradiction. Freedom means also freedom to do things I don't like without shitting on those who do them. No freedom means also freedom to do shit on them. Not in my book. Freedom guy wants to reduce my freedom. You're also free to call a person stupid or ugly. That's part of freedom of speech, but you shouldn't. What are you talking about? There is an use to shitcoins polluting the space. Calling a shitcoin is also, I mean, like basically the CEO of Starknet is basically saying you shouldn't call anything a shitcoin. It's like when you release a shitcoin and all your VC mates are still dumping on people with your 127 million Starknet tokens coming out yesterday, by the way. How did that affect price? Did it go up? Nope, still at 4.1. There's his token. You know, these are the type of people that are trying to tell you how to behave. The criminals. Criminal. Never be forgiven. Although, you know, like, you could pick some up and do alright. Like, I think not that there's anything to do on chain. I'm not going to get into it. Every time I like think about starting that, I start ranting about it, and I don't want to do that today because I'm having a good day. Okay, with a good trade, things are working out. Positive vibes only. Positive vibes only. Okay, guys. All right. Yeah, it's just looking a bit toppy there. Looking a bit toppy. That's a bit of consolidation. We'll see anyway. My stop's in profit. God's sake. DX research multi-billion dollar. What DX group? Yeah, it's just someone senior engineer. Yeah, I had this interesting conversation. So this is like was it was not really a conversation. Yeah, if you actually look at what the Ethereum is talking about, it's a third shit chain ethics, a third crypto bullshit, and the last third game theory. The Ethereum Foundation basically smoked out all the product builders just by forcing their moral framing. Users do not use blockchains, they use products. The EF is not building a product, they're building a blockchain, a platform that allows. I like this take. Not like it, I don't fancy her or nothing like, but I followed her for years. You know, like from when she done the very first secure wallet. I can't remember what it's called. But I used it. It was janky as fuck, but like not pretty. But you know, if you wanted to install like a hardware wallet and you wanted to get addresses for Ethereum, you would go there. My Ether wallet. Yeah, she was the one who built that. I believe her and I don't know, whoever else, her team. But yeah, she's always like blunt and to the point, and she's never backed down on her ethics, innit? You know, like she believes in security, decentralization, all the rest of that jargon that we all believed in until the profiteers came. Users do not use blockchains, they use products. The EF is not building a product, they're building a blockchain, a platform that allows anyone to permissionlessly build whatever the fuck they want. I know it's confusing because there are a lot of shallow single-purpose blockchains out there. Shallow single-purpose blockchains are products. The EF is not building a product. That's what I'm saying. They're building the new layer of the internet. That's what they're trying to sell. Ethereum is supposed to be the gas. Gas spikes up in price and goes down, as you found in the real world. It's not that complicated. It's not that complicated, guys. The problem, but you know, the initial complication, I guess, came from the. Is my mic unmuted, Jack? Came from the. Where's my mic? Wait a minute. I've been talking to myself this whole time. There you go. Yeah. The complications came from the L2 narrative. You know, people wanted faster block times. Ethereum wasn't in a position to provide that, so they were like, "Oh, do you know what? You guys muck around in the sandbox of the L2, but once you have, if you do find product market fit, we would like you to play for some block space because we are securing you guys." And all the L2s came out. Only one found, you know, sufficient block space, really. Which is Base, and Base are like, well, we're not gonna, you know, I'm sure there should be some internal arguments like, when are you gonna decentralize your chain, when are you gonna start paying for block space? Maybe they were paying for block space, but it was very minimal. And Base basically said, you know what, we're gonna build our own chain. We've got the customers, we've got the user, we've got the KYC data. We can, you know, compete with Robinhood. We were going for like $90 billion valuations or something insane like that. But yeah. I mean, Consensus has attempted to build their own L2 and be competitive, but like, as I said in my previous like recording, like my last stream, there's actually no point to be on there. It's just like, I mean, yeah, okay, yeah. And then she said that the EF cannot and has never prevented anyone from building on Ethereum. Ethereum is permissionless. That means you don't need anyone's permission. Stop making excuses for inept theoretical bitches who do everything except ship and then blame the EF after the fact. And I was like, but bro, where's my funding? And she snapped at me. She was like, what have you built? And I feel like I can feel the aggression in what she said there, you know? Because once this woman is triggered, she just goes, man. It's just like, come on. I said, satire, bro, relax. I said, I should have put it in quotation marks. I said, I'm actually building something. You know, maybe it goes on chain. Question is, who's going to stop me from doing it? And she said, you should do it. No one can stop you except you. Which is very inspirational, motivational, you know? Nice ending to a brief conversation. And yeah, as you can see, like, yeah, I'm building something, I'm motivated. Now, it's not on chain yet, but you know, there is a step to bring it on chain, but it has to be done the right way. It has to be done in a way where it works. And it's tough, like, you know, like in terms of like because I've tried to build things on chain. I mean, I've actually got like this game on chain, like running locally, and it's just like, oh, it's a shit game. But the fact that I was able to get it running locally on chain, sign a transaction, and it was working, is a massive step for me, and it taught me a lot. So now I know that, and then I moved on to the Whale Scope, and I'm now building that out. But then I'm like, how can I use Whale Scope and what it has to move on to, you know, to move that product on chain, but not that product. I don't know how to explain it without giving it away, but there's something I've really been thinking about. I wanted to build, and I'm sure once it's done, once I've grafted and sweated on my own in this corner, and I put it on chain, and I'm like, guys, look what I did. No one's gonna give a shit, but it might change people's opinions about certain things that they said wouldn't work. Hint, hint. So yeah, we're on our way. We're on our way. I'm here to save crypto, people. I'm here to save crypto. All right, how long have I been waffling on for? An hour. All right, you've had an hour of my time. It's me time now. Yeah, I'm gonna stay long on this. If it hits my stop, it hits my stop. And then yeah, like I said, I think Asta's the next play. I feel like Asta's gonna go. Doesn't mean I believe in the protocol. Like, you know, this is about profits. It's about paying the bills, people. Keep the lights on. Yeah, I'm joking. It's all the funds are gonna stay on chain, like they always have. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for listening to our waffle. If you are watching this back, I stream on Zora, I stream on Twitch, I stream on YouTube, I stream on X, and all of them have 0 viewers. But who cares, right? I do this for me. It's probably best no one sees this, to be fair. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. Enjoy your Monday. I'll be back tomorrow with another update. Hopefully some news to talk about, because I don't think I really talked about anything today. It's just all products, like, which is interesting still to me. But you know, like the last stream where the guy lost 50 mils, like I could talk about that all day, how stupid that is. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna play you guys out. I'll probably be the only one to view this back as a reminder, express because I've expressed some ideas that I might be interested in later that I'll forget about now. Oh, I think I've said it already, but like I was looking at the crypto streams, man, on Twitch. They're dire. Like everyone's just looking at charts. It's very strange. How come no one talks about crypto anymore? I keep saying crypto, like I'm gonna get banned off YouTube, I'm gonna get banned off X. I'm like, no one wants to hear about your crypto. But like, you know, as long as there's no viewers, it doesn't matter. Okay, you guys take it easy. I'm going to mute my mic now. You can stop listening to this awful voice I have. And yeah, I'll play you out with the intro song and the dance. All right, take it easy, guys.
if you want me.